To have Winter High School head football coach Dan Aaker with us. Coach, last week's game was very reminiscent of that St. Thomas More game the previous Friday. You capitalized on an early turnover to get an early lead, kind of gave up some yards in the second quarter, then settled in and played a really dominating second half against Mobridge Pollock. Are you happy with your team's production from turnovers this year, and do you feel like you're winning that battle?
Really happy from an offensive standpoint, and we only turned the ball over 3 times. And anytime you do that in 6 games, you got to be pretty happy. And we always set the goal, I think, for each game is try to create 3 and only give up 1. So we're doing a pretty good job from an offensive standpoint. We've only created 10 turnovers, which is down quite a bit from the teams we've had the last few years, and that's that really coincides with a team's success at any level, I think. And that's one of our big 4 goals every year is to win the turnover battle. I don't think it's been lack of opportunities. We've had some balls thrown to us, either linebacker or secondary that we just didn't catch. And look at Friday night, I think we had 4 that should have probably been interceptions. So we've kind of had opportunities there, but that turns into such a big thing down the road in any big game, or any game for that matter. But the bigger the game, it seems like turnovers probably have a bigger play in the outcome than anything. So hopefully we keep taking care of the ball like we have offensively, and hopefully create a few more. But we stress that, and we're 10. It's 10-3 ratio, so we're in pretty good shape. But we'd like the takeaways a little higher.
I think your adjustments at halftime the last couple weeks have been real key. Can you kind of share with us what some of the minor tweaks you can do in situations like that can yield big changes?
Well, I think if you look at the 2 games, St. Thomas More, from a coach's standpoint, we were able to do a couple things. We changed how we were blocking some of our perimeter stuff to help us on the outside plays. Real subtle adjustments about where we're sending our wing back or where we're sending our wide out to block certain guys. And then defensively, just trying to mix up coverage a little bit and moving our linebackers around a little bit, just to make the quarterback guess a little bit. Mobridge wasn't so much that what we needed to change. They didn't show us anything at first half. We didn't intend to stop. We just weren't getting it done. So that was more of a heart-to-heart, so to speak, I guess, with the players about playing harder. I thought we got outplayed that first half, and that should never happen. And they responded to that too. But I think as I've gotten older and our staff's been around each other quite a bit, and we kind of on the same page, we've turned into more of what can we do at halftime to help our guys out rather than the rah-rah stuff, because quite honestly, most of the time our guys are playing as hard as they can, so we need to do our job to make them a little bit better. And I think we've gotten better as a staff year by year since I've been here.
You continue to have different kids step up and have big games when called upon. Having a Drew Demers step in last week for Nate Galbraith and play so well is a real boost for your squad that seems to keep getting younger as the season grinds on. But I really feel like your captains and seniors have provided good leadership in the last couple weeks. Who's stepped up as leaders this season as it winds down?
I'd have to attribute that to all of our seniors, quite honestly. You asked me what kind of senior group we had. I think one of the first few weeks, and they're kind of a fun group. They're maybe not the most intense group. Well, I know they're not the most intense group I've ever had, but they also bring a certain character to the team, I think, and they're competitors, and that's probably what sticks out most. They're very competitive, in especially in tight situations, and you'll see them kind of step to the forefront when things aren't maybe going that well or we need a big play. I think Tyrell Haley is one that's probably really shown in that, maybe epitomizes what I'm talking about in game situation. The guy that's just going hard all the time. But I've liked what our seniors have did from a leadership standpoint this year, and I think that just competitive nature is what sticks out the most with that group.
Tonight you host the Crow Creek Chieftains. They come in with 1 win and seem to have really struggled in the last couple weeks. This will be another team that tries to spread the field and gets the ball into the hands of their best athletes. Is that correct?
Yeah, and they got a couple good ones. Gant is he won the Region 100 last year and placed 9th at state. He'll be the fastest guy in the field. So we got to kind of keep him, know where he's at. I think it's Fontenot, their quarterback, is another. He ran the 100 as well. So those 2 guys are very good athletes. We've seen a couple different things from them where they've tried to run some double tight and run the ball, but it's also seemed to spread us out, or other teams out. I fully expect them to kind of spread us out a little bit, and we've seen a lot of that the last few weeks, and that's good because as the playoffs get closer, a lot of teams are doing a lot of that similar stuff. So yeah, we got to control their athletes And but a lot of it starts up at the line of scrimmage, like we've talked about every week. It's just controlling that line of scrimmage, no matter if it's run or pass. You got to do a good job there. So, we've got to be solid in all phases, and definitely starts with defense.
Senior night here tonight for the Warriors. I know you've gone away from a traditional parents' night. Can you explain what your team does and how the seniors and parents get their special night on this last home regular season game of 2014?
Yeah, we went to that actually the first year when I became athletic director, and the sole purpose of it was I just wanted to recognize the seniors a little better, and it wasn't trying to take away from our underclassmen or parents, but just to kind of make it their night, make it most of them have been in our program for 4 years. It's going to be their last home game on Warrior Field, and to recognize them that way. So we do. Recognize our underclassmen parents by having them stand up and observe them that way, but we bring the seniors and the senior parents down on the field, and there's a few gifts that are exchanged. I always give our players a little senior picture for them and a little poem on there that pertains to football that they give to their parents, and just try to make it special for the seniors, and I think that's important because they've given a lot. Not only our seniors, but the parents of the seniors have given a lot to the program throughout the years, and just to have that special recognition, I think it's a good thing.
Last question, Coach. I believe your JV and middle school season's wrapped up this week. Is there more success in the future for the Warriors based on what you and your coaches have seen from the sub-varsity squads this year?
Yeah, I think the future looks pretty darn good. We had undefeated JV season, and we thought we knew we were going to be pretty good at JV just with the sophomore class and some of the other surrounding ones, and they played peer and handled them pretty well, and they really didn't have any really close games, so that's good to see. A lot of those guys are getting some varsity time as well. I was really impressed with our freshman group from day one, and probably more in practice than anything. They were not scared at all to jump in there against their upperclassmen and haven't stopped the entire season. So a pretty scrappy group, maybe not the most athletically talented, but I think they'll progress very well. Great numbers at the middle school, and that's huge. That's one thing that I think, especially at our class, if you can get numbers and keep kids out, you're going to be successful no matter what. And up and down a little bit, I think, with 8th graders this year, but 6th and 7th had a nice season as well. But I think at the middle school level, we have a great coaching staff down there with a lot of experience in football, and they get them excited about football and make them like football. So if you can keep those numbers pretty consistent as they move up into high school, that's definitely going to bode well. And I really like all levels that we have here in Winter, and credit all our coaches for the hard work they do all the way from 6th grade all the way up to seniors.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck. Let's go get a win.